Hey guys, in the last session we left off with you all entering Asmo's outlet.
Yeah, we don't need you to remind us, Joe. We were there.
Damn, dude, it's not for you. It's for the people watching at home.
Well, they were there too.
Fine, whatever, man. What are you guys doing then?
Well, the first thing on the agenda is to get myself an arcane focus from Asmo.
The man's facial expression morphs into an indulgent grin, as if he were humoring a naive youngster as he says,
"Looking to sling some spells, huh? Well, no worries, because at Asmo's outlet, we've got everything a budding spell slinger like you could ever need."
What? No, I'm already a mage, and the most powerful one at that. I just got my focus stolen from me.
Well, ain't that something? The almighty wizard loses his arcane focus, huh? Had to be someone even more powerful to swipe it off you, right?
Nope, not quite. It was this freaky test tube guy who had a thing for shapeshifting. Don't ask me why, but our powerful wizard over here decided to get all cost-conscious and skipped out on getting his own room. Ends up catching some Z's with said test tube guy, and come dawn, boom, he's cleaned out.
Well, I thought he was my friend, and he betrayed me.
Okay, how long did you know this guy for?
Well, you see, I knew
You
him.
knew him for less than a day. You really need to start setting the bar higher for who you call friend.
Ha, that's pretty moronic for a mighty wizard.
Nobody asked for your opinion, Asmo.
Geez, somebody's a little touchy.
Don't worry about him. He usually gets either super defensive or incredibly obnoxious when he knows he's done something silly.
Well, I thought I saw potential in him, but clearly I was wrong. Consider it a lesson learned. Never trust a clone.
Well, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little offended by that.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm kind of a clone too. You see, Asmo Prime wouldn't just hand over his precious stores to some rando. So he thought, what's better than doing it yourself?
Well, when we say clone, we aren't referring to the usual magic. This individual was seemingly cloned against his will. A concoction of necromancy, technology, and God knows what other magic.
Gotcha. You see, I was created using a tweaked version of a spell called Simulacrum. Not quite as potent, but damn sure more flexible.
So how many other Asmos are wandering around the continent?
We're not wandering anywhere, dude. We're stationed in stores dotted around the place. I mean, Asmo Prime pops in from time to time to see how we're doing, collect the gold, restock the inventory, and deal some big dick damage to any little shits who've been causing us trouble.
What the fuck's big dick damage?
I don't know, but it sounds like my kind of damage.
It's just a turn of phrase meaning he will deal with any troublemakers.
I like it.
Oh, I bet you do.
What was that?
Don't you worry about it.
I think he's trying to insinuate that you like Peni, Tronald.
I'm going to attempt to overlook your use of the incorrect plural form for that word.
Anyway, we're getting a little sidetracked here. You said you wanted an arcane focus, right? So how much cash are you willing to splash?
I couldn't care less. Just give me the cheapest one.
Man, you're tighter than a Knoll's hide, huh?
It's really none of your business how tight I am.
I'm not gonna lie, guys, this whole conversation's starting to sound really gay.
Just get me the damn focus already.
The man begins to rummage under the counter for a few moments before he pulls out a small box full of trinkets. He reaches in and pulls out a small crystal necklace before placing it on the desk as he says,
This nifty little crystal should do the trick for you. Basic stuff, but it'll get the job done. That'll set you back just 10 gold pieces. Do you mind me asking why you're going for something so simple? You strike me as an individual who would want to show off his wealth.
Stop trying to upsell me. It's more that I don't plan on having to use this one for very long. Soon as we find where Kobe is, I'll be getting my focus back. Anyway, here's my 25 silver.
Dude, I said 10 gold, not 25 silver.
Yes, I know. We're all sharing the cost as a group. Well, guys, are you going to give the man his 25 silver each or what?
Wow, I didn't expect you to actually take me up on that. But whatever, sure.
Yeah, here you go, Asmo.
Here's mine. By the way, guys, I had an idea.
Oh my god.
Why don't we put like half of whatever coin we make from our endeavors and put them in a group treasury so we don't have to worry about trivial things like this in the future?
Oh, okay, well, I'm down for that if everyone else is.
Fine by me.
Very clever, Raarh.
Anyway, Asmo, do you sell ordinary weapons and armor, or is it purely magical items you deal with?
Yeah, you bet your ass I sell mundane stuff too. Why? What you looking for?
I'm looking for a shield and some splint armor.
Ooh, you planning on making that custom armor from your fancy schematics?
Yeah, that's right, Raarh. Although I'll need to deconstruct it and then reconstruct it in a way that will allow for the customizability it will bring.
Why on Mortal Azure do you want splint armor? Why not just go for full plate?
Because full plate is way out of both mine and our combined price range at the moment, Tronald.
Yeah, full plate is gonna run you around 1,500 gold. And I mean no disrespect when I say this, but you guys haven't really demonstrated any of that display of wealth which you alluded to when you first walked in here.
Jesus, why would you pay that much for some armor?
I'm not Tronald. That's the point of me getting splint.
But we're in agreement that plate would be better, yes?
Of course plate would be better, but as I said, I cannot afford plate, Tronald.
Well, my dear Saxy, that's not an issue. I can get you some of that plate armor that you actually want easily enough. After all, you really pulled through with helping me out with the loss of my arcane focus.
What? How do you plan on getting 1,500 gold's worth of armor when a 10 gold crystal was out of your budget?
I don't want you to worry about the means, Saxy. I just want you to know that Tronald's got your back, just like you've got his.
Why are you referring to yourself in third person?
Because I wanted to. Do I need another reason? Anyway, I'm glad you piped up because I'm going to need you to help me in order for this plan to work, Celestia.
And why's that?
Well, simply put, I need someone who can change their appearance at will.
So you figured out I'm a changeling then, eh?
It really didn't take much figuring out, to be honest. I have got to ask, though, as my curiosity is piqued, is this your base form, or are you currently impersonating someone else?
Geez, you can't just go around asking a changeling woman if this is her base form. How rude can you be?
That's not going to work on me, Celestia. You see, I'm not a simp like Saxy.
What?
I've read all the tomes on how to deal with this nonsense by Alexandru Bate. Now answer the damn question.
Ah, shucks. Well, you're no fun.
That was unnecessarily aggressive, Tronald.
Was it? I didn't...
Raarh is impressed with this.
Oh, great. Now they're both speaking in third person.
To answer your question, Tronald, yes, this is my base form.
Guys, I don't mean to seem impatient, but are you buying anything else, or do you plan on just continuing to talk about whatever the fuck this is inside of my shop?
My sincerest apologies, Asmo. Are we keeping you from all them other customers you've got to deal with?
You snarky little shit. I've changed my mind. Stay as long as you like.
Hey, excellent. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. Don't buy the armor, Saxy. You can trust me to deliver on my promise.
If you say so, Tronald. Okay, Asmo, I'll just take the shield, please.
All right, that'll be another 10 gold.
Guys, should we get some health potions whilst we're here?
If it's health potions you want, I've got plenty of them. Here's the deal. Standard ones are 50 gold a pop. Greater potions, they're 100. If you're looking for something beefier, a superior will set you back 500. And for the big spenders, which as a note, I know you're not, the supreme potions are 1,350 gold each.
Let's get 3 of them standard healing potions. One for each of the non-healers in the group.
Thank you, I'll take that. And here's your health potions.
Asmo, I've got a bit of a special request. I'm looking to mod my battle armor to include compartments for storing spell scrolls. But here's the kicker. I want the armor itself to be able to decipher the scrolls and convert them into spells. Any thoughts on the best way to tackle this?
So you're wanting to trick out your armor to hold scrolls and then have it essentially cast the spell for you, huh? Sounds like a doozy. So here's the thing. What you're asking for is a bit of a tall order. It's going to take some heavy enchantment work, and that's not even considering the mechanical complexities. You'd need a top-notch enchanter, a scroll maker, and probably a seasoned blacksmith to modify the armor itself.
That's great. I was just checking to see if I had any oversights on this, but it seems like I haven't. So I'm quite the tinkerer, and would feel capable at dealing with the mechanical aspects. Tronald over here will be as good a person as any to make the spell scrolls. Then I was hoping I could commission you to do the enchanting for me.
Oof, well, you see, I'm not really an enchanter, so I wouldn't be able to delve too deeply into that for you.
Wait, what? How are you not an enchanter? Yet you own a shop which literally sells enchanted items. Don't you create them?
Haven't you been listening to anything I've been saying? Number one, I'm not the owner of this shop. I'm more of a general manager. The owner of all the shops is Asmo Prime. Number two, I'm the charismatic Asmo. For enchanting, you'll want to deal with enchanting Asmo.
You're the charismatic Asmo?
All right, now I'm slightly confused. From the research I've done regarding simulacrum, you can't just pick and choose what qualities one of your simulacra receive.
He's already explained this, Saxy. It's a modified version of the spell, so why would you assume it would follow the rules of the standard spell?
Well, I'm glad somebody's been paying attention.
So this modified version actually lets Asmo Prime create slight variations of himself. That's actually insane.
You're damn right it's insane. And it's not just slight variations either. We've got a whole bunch of Asmos. Enchanting Asmo is a bit of a downer if you ask me. But Warrior Asmo is a crazy, crazy dude.
That does seem like an incredibly versatile spell. Is it possible to learn this power?
I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't be possible for someone to learn it, although Asmo Prime is the only person I've ever met or heard about who knows it.
And sorry for the intrusive questions, but where exactly did he learn this spell? Did it come naturally to him? Or did someone teach him?
I'm going to need you to roll a persuasion check for me there, Saxiron. This is getting a little too deep for him to be just telling you for small talk.
That's a 21 total, Joe.
The countenance of the man transitions from an embodiment of unbridled joy to an essence of profound sorrow as he says,
Oh yeah, he absolutely learned it from someone else. Although the teacher of this spell has long since passed away.
You seem saddened by the topic. I'm assuming they were close friends?
Not particularly. You see, I recall him being his master. Yet the memories I sift through are somewhat hazy, as they're merely echoes of the original. However, one vivid recollection that stands out, a memory that should cast a profound shadow of sorrow across all of Ouroaros, is that this man was without a doubt the most formidable magical intellect of our age, and he could have shared so much more before his untimely passing.
That's a real pity. It would have been incredible to learn from him. How did he die?
I'd tell you if I could remember, but as I said, it's all extremely hazy. If you want more answers, you would be best off speaking to Asmo Prime himself, who resides at the heart of Ouroaros, the capital city of Illuminara. I do warn you, though, he is an incredibly busy man, and unfortunately, I don't see any reason why he would entertain your visit in the slightest.
Well, do you remember his name at least? Asmo Prime's master's name, that is.
Now you're testing me. I think it was something along the lines of Lord Tan something, but I just can't put my finger on it.
Well, we've taken up enough of your time, charismatic Asmo. We will leave you in peace now.
Yes, thank you massively for all your help, both information-wise and for the items. We most certainly will be coming back here when we have more gold to our names.
The man meets your eyes with a wide, genuine grin as he says,
Absolutely. Anytime you guys want, you're more than welcome to swing by. It's been a nice change talking to people who are as interesting as you lot. Oh, and if you're ever looking for ways to make some extra coin, we have plenty of reputable contracts going, or maybe some more off-the-books jobs would be more your style. Either way, we have them all. Just come back and let me know if you're ever in search.
Once Asmo wraps up his spiel, he flips you all a casual, almost endearing wave off and goes back to his item sorting duties. Leaving his magical treasure trove behind, you guys step back into the hustle and bustle of Waterdeep. So what's your guys' plan from here?
All right, Celestia. So here's the plan. We find that nasty, nasty guard that tried to detain us last night. You shapeshift into a child or something and pretend to be injured from a bandit or whatever. The specifics don't matter. You then lure him away from the rest of them whilst I'll be hiding in a nearby shrub, ready to use my suggestion spell to get him to take his armor off and send him wandering into the bog for the next 8 hours.
When you said you had a plan to get me some plate armor, I wasn't expecting this. I'm not too sure I feel comfortable with it, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Saxy, the man was downright rude to you yesterday. He mocked us all. He is a horrible person. To be honest with you, I think this plan is kind of mild. If we wanted to be more extreme, we could have him wander into our Raarh whilst he's in the bog to be inevitably eaten.
Well, hold your horses for a second, Tronald. Let's assume for a moment that our charming guard friend is indeed the wretched slimeball we're assuming him to be, who fully deserves to lose his shiny tin suit. But ask yourself this. Why would this character even blink an eye at a wounded child? From our experience, he seems more likely to step over the kid and carry on with his day. We need to consider if our plan appeals to his, let's say, less than empathetic nature.
It's good to have you on board, Saxy.
Wait, I'm not on board with anything yet. I'm simply saying that if we do go ahead with this, it needs to be a fully fleshed out plan before we should even consider proceeding with it.
Ooh, I've got an idea, guys.
Let's hear it then, Raarh. You've been on a roll with ideas lately, so I'm interested to see what that weird and wonderful mind has concocted.
Well, it's clear as day that our cock end of a guard is a right piece of work, isn't he? Why don't we ditch this whole wounded child setup and try a different angle? What if we had Celestia transform into some rich-looking noble, sobbing her eyes out about some low-life little shit making off with a whole pouch of platinum coins? The mere sniff of wealth would make him start tingling in places we don't want to know about. Seems like it could catch his fancy, don't you think?
Excellent idea.
Wow, you're on a freaking roll, dude. What's happened to you?
Honestly, I've just been absolutely pumped since that confrontation earlier. It really gets the blood flowing.
Do you mean the terrifying threat you gave to the people in the tavern?
No, I'm talking about that old biddy. She put up a good fight, but in the end she was no match for me. I'll tell you something. The way I yeeted her to the other side of the street with a single kick was fucking epic. I couldn't stop replaying it in my head last night.
Well, at least we know what we need to do in the future. Before we engage in any confrontations of significant importance, we just need to make sure Raarh has let out his pent-up frustrations on the nearest pensioner.
I'm not sure how the logistics of that would work. I mean, would we just have to carry one around with us at all times if we're away from civilization or what?
Fuck logistics. We're making it happen. That's the best idea you've ever had, Saxy.
Well, I was being fucking sarcastic. What the actual fuck, Celestia? I expected it from Raarh, sure, but I can't believe you were actually going to go along with that. You're just as chaotic as them, too.
Chaos isn't a pit. Chaos is a ladder.
Why the fuck are you talking about pits and ladders?
Ooh, I love that board game.
Oh my god.
No, Raarh, you're thinking of snakes and ladders, but I agree with you. It is quite an entertaining game. But no, Elon, I was just being silly and broke from RP to do a quote from my favorite character in Game of Thrones. I've been rewatching it at home. I still can't believe they did him dirty like that. Honestly, season 7 and 8 really pissed me off.
You know, it really says a lot about you that your favorite character was Peter Baelish.
Are you kidding? He was absolutely pivotal to the entire narrative. Literally, the entire sequence of events unfolded because of his genius. He wasn't just some secondary character, but the architect of chaos, the puppet master pulling the strings from the shadows. Without him, the story would have been non-existent.
Totally with you on that one, Donald. Baelish was an intriguing character, there's no doubt about that. But hey, let's reel it back in, buddy. We're here to roll some dice and abuse some old people, not break down Game of Thrones.
Sure thing, Joe, but I've got to ask, who is your favorite character, Elon?
Oh, that's an easy one. My favorite character was Sansa Stark. She really showed how a character can change.
Shut your fucking mouth!
Wow.
Jesus Christ, man.
Right. I don't even want to continue anymore. We will carry on next time. In the meantime, Elon, go home and rethink your fucking life. You've thoroughly disappointed me.
Well, thanks a lot, Elon. You've ruined the entire session.
What the fuck? It was that idiot that started talking about Game of Thrones in the first place.
Stop lying, Elon. Anyway, I'll see you a lot later. I'm off to watch the Battle of the Bastards. But if you guys are enjoying this series, don't forget to smack that like button. It's a real game changer when it comes to battling the all-powerful algorithm.